Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is June Liu. How you doing, June?
Doing good, man. Happy Friday.
Definitely. So today we are talking about the Bombay Tobak Gaaja Maduro Torpedo. Cigar is 6-inch by 54 ring gauge. Comes out of the Tobaccos de Costa Rica factory in Costa Rica. The wrapper is Brazilian Matafina. Binder is Ecuador HVA Seca Mejorada. And the filler is Peru Hybrid Habano, Ecuador Criollo 98, Paraguay Hybrid Habano 2000, Dominican Criollo 98, and Dominican HBA Mejorado. So it's quite a bit of a filler combination there. Blended by Mel Shaw. Price point is $15.50. Cigar was released in February of 2017. So with all those details out of the way, June, what was your pre-light experience like?
I thought, first of all, the cigar looked fantastic. Similar to the non-Maduro Torpedo that we reviewed, or was it the Torpedo we reviewed? But it was I know it was a Gaaja non-Maduro that we reviewed.
Yeah, it was just the guy at Toro, I believe.
Okay, gotcha. I remember that cigar looking absolutely fantastic, almost seamless, really. And I thought the same with this cigar, with a really super smooth, silky dark brown wrapper. Bangs perfectly pressed, seems super tight, almost invisible. Bunch of roll I thought was really well executed. No soft spots, uniform give throughout the whole cigar. The head, I thought it was wrapped very elegantly with a really nice thick double cap. In terms of the pre-light nosing experience, the wrapper I got aged cedar, dry barnyard, foot, rich toasted nuts, white pepper, cold draw, deep white pepper, and cedar. So all in all, a really good experience.
Yeah, wrapper was medium brown, had some darker marbling mixed in. There was a network of fine veins, and the seams were just slightly visible on the smooth wrapper. Torpedo head finished off well applied triple cap. The band appears to be the same that's on the original Gaia. I'm not sure if there's any sort of color variation to determine between the two, or they just let the wrapper speak for it. So the aromas from the wrapper and the foot were both very faint. The wrapper gave some cocoa. Foot gave a little bit of leather. Pre-light draw was a kind of a mix of leather and a cherry sweetness to it. So getting into flavor, what was your experience first through final third?
This is one of those examples of a cigar in which I felt like it was really good in the beginning, and it just basically was a letdown by the end of the cigar. So with that said, from the first third, I kind of got typically what I expect from Bombay Tobak, which is a very balanced profile with really smooth deliveries, namely centered around cocoa, bread, a little bit of a bitter dry wood going on, and black pepper on my front palate. In chin, there's this really nice candy sweetness that joined the profile, and it paired especially really well with that bread note. When I was restaurant handling, balanced delivery of increased black pepper, breads, sharp cedar, slightly sweetened mixed nuts. Finish lingered with mixed black pepper, mixed nuts, and bread. Strength, for the most part, medium, and body at a consistent medium. Moving on to second third, I thought the profile became a little bit sharper, namely with the interplay of sharper dry wood and mouth layering black pepper. Secondary level of flavors, I got some mixed nuts going on. That subtle candy sweetness is unfortunately gone. Retro still, very balanced delivery of increased black pepper, bread, sharp cedar, and a little bit of sweetened mixed nuts. Finish, unchanged, still lingering notes of black pepper, mixed nuts, bread. Strength, increased to more of like that medium full territory. Body of still at the medium level. Now, finally going into this last third, I thought the last third just continuously showed that increase in sharpness. But at that point, I felt like the profile is no longer balanced. It was a little bit too sharp, I thought. Coarse black pepper, sharp, harsh, bitter wood are mainly the notes that I got out of it. Retro, thankfully, still the same with the increased black pepper, bread, sharp cedar, faintly sweetened mixed nuts. Finish similar to the mouth draws, namely giving me a sharp, harsh, and bitter dry wood. Strength body, still the same. Medium, medium full, and medium respectively. So really great start. It just unfortunately the profile just got sharper and sharper to the point where it was a little too sharp for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the flavor dynamics of the initial draws were really interesting. On the draw, in the beginning of the exhale, I'd get cocoa, and that would quickly shift to like woodiness, and then the finish was like a mild black pepper. A quarter inch in, the profile settled into like a slightly creamy oak and a mild black pepper finish. And then half an inch in, that cocoa came rushing back in. It was at an even level with the oak, and that mild pepper kind of finish still remained there. An inch in, cocoa faded back, oak transitioned to an aged oak, and the black pepper finish kind of disappeared altogether. Inch and a quarter, cocoa increased a slight bit, creates a nice mix with the aged oak. And then an inch and three quarters, a little bit of wood bitterness joined the cocoa and the aged oak. Retrohale was kind of still carrying that aged oak profile. And as the third came to a close, that cocoa left and the aged oak and the wood bitterness kind of caused the profile to be a little bit drying, and strength was just a little bit below medium for me. Second, third, begin with kind of with the aged oak and slightly drying wood bitterness still going on. Half an inch in, wood bitterness decreased a little bit, making the profile a little slightly less drying. The aged oak remained up front. At an inch in, oak transitioned to like an aged, just general woodiness and a slight baking spice joined in as well. There was still a little bit of wood bitterness in the background, but nothing too crazy. Inch and a half, wood bitterness increased to become even with the wood. Kind of lost that aged profile to it. And as the third was coming to a close, the bitterness dropped slightly, which kind of allowed that general woodiness to maintain a slight lead there. And the strength had bumped up a little bit to be just slightly above medium. And then getting to the final third, profile was dry wood, slight bitterness in the background. Quarter inch in, wood gained a large amount of char and bitterness kind of as the smoke was becoming hot. Three quarters of an inch in, heat settled down, reduced the char and bitterness a little bit. Inch and a quarter, a little bit of cream joined in with the wood, that kind of pushed the bitterness out. And that's how the cigar wrapped up for me, and strength kind of remained at that just above medium mark. So getting into performance for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
Overall, it was good. Draw being better of the bunch, but burn, I thought I rated it just a regular good. Only complaint that I had was some portion of the wrapper refusing to burn, especially within the first and last third. Luckily, I never had to resort to my lighter, which is always a good thing. Ashes held on really tight, pretty tight, inch and a half increments. Burn time, super impressive. I smoked this in 2 hours and 45 minutes. So really slow burner. So in terms of draw, really good draw. No big complaints. A little bit loose for my liking, but the cigar never heated up and was really effortless. So all in all, good construction.
Yeah, the burn line was quite wavy. I did touch it up a couple times because the burn line was just getting a little too far off. I didn't think there was any way that it would catch up with itself. But ash held on in an inch and a quarter increments, so that was pretty good. In terms of the draw, just a little bit slightly tighter than I prefer. Didn't cause any issues with the smoking experience. Just kind of more of a preference type thing. So overall, pretty good. So overall, what were your thoughts of the cigar?
I thought the cigar really started out with great balance, nuance, which is really what I enjoy out of most in Bombay. I'm sorry, not in Bombay anymore. Bombay Tobak offerings. But unfortunately, it fell further and further away from that balance aspect of it as the cigar progressed. When I think about a cigar that does something like this, I think that is typically a function of its youth. And I'm totally good with that. Part of the cigar journey that I really enjoy is smoking at different points of its life to see where it best suits my palate, and to really enjoy it at that point. So at this point, it was overall good, but I think it could be way better with they get on some more humider time. So, but overall, still worth a try to see where the cigar gauges at, and you can buy a few more to kind of stash away and see how it develops.
Yeah, the first sort of flavors and transitions were really dynamic. So it's a shame that things got pretty one-dimensional getting into the second, third, and how the rest of the way finished out. Bitterness also made its way into the profile in that second, third, and never really left. Strength was right around medium, so that shouldn't be a detractor for any smokers. I really want to smoke another one of these just to see if the flavors that I got in that first third could continue on through the rest of the cigar. It would just increase the score of the cigar immensely. So, definitely something to check out, see if it fits your profile. But I agree with you. I think more time, maybe smooth out kind of the rest of the profile. And if it can if it could fall in line with how that first third is, this would be definitely a winner of a cigar. So I'm hoping that age can provide that there. So getting into the scores, you gave it a 6.82. I gave it a 5.65. How do you think that matches up with your experience?
Pretty well. The way I scored it was, very good, good, average. And then in terms of burn and draw, overall, pretty good. So, it should hit that mid sixes, like upper sixes range. But I think it'll be way better performer with some humidor time. So it almost, I feel like, doesn't really do it justice at this point at the stage.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I gave it a very good first third. Second third, I did average, and then final third, I did subpar, just because it fell off so far down in that last third from where it was in that first third. It was just a bit of disappointment there. But yeah, I mean, I think if we can get it back in line with how that first third is, you're looking at high sevens, maybe pushing 8. If you can keep up with how that first third goes. So, any other final thoughts from you on the cigar?
No, it seems like you and I are pretty aligned with this one. So
Yeah. All right. If you're just catching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on developingpalates.com. You can also follow us on all the social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. And you can also listen on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.